Hey guys, welcome to Code and Box Automation Lab. This is Shoreful again. Today we're going to see some important features regarding the web locators. Right, in our last tutorials we have seen 8 different web locators, how to use all those 8 different web locators to locate any web object or elements in an HTML page, so that we can detect those elements and we can perform some action on those element, right? So let me show you once again. Let me minimize this window. Okay, so this is just a recap. It's a little bit. So we saw 8 locators. That's the main 8 locators, like XPath ID, name, link text, CSS selector, class name, partial link text, all those things, right? And in our last videos we have seen how to use directly, how to create even XPath, how to create CSS selector, or how we can get this XPath or CSS selector as well as the rest of the ID, name, and we have seen how to use directly those locator to locate any web element. Now this is a little bit more depth concept, this tutorial about specifically for XPath and CSS selector. XPath and CSS selector, very powerful locators, right? If we have any element in our web object that we don't have directly any locator that we can't use, or sometimes we can use but it's a changing, it's not working properly always, that time we have to sometimes we have to traverse from parent web locator to child or a specific web locator or a specific web element where what element we're trying to select. That time we can use XPath or CSS selector. It has a different using option that we can traverse from one element to another element, so that we can specifically select our desired element. Okay, let's go some of them, the important, very frequently used those kind of features that you can it's through the XPath and CSS selector. Number 1, how can we locate elements using text function in a XPath, through the XPath? So if we have a the text, we know there's a text like any side example, say example automation practice. So this is a complete text. So there is a text method or function in Selenium through the XPath that we can use this method to locate any text, solid text in an HTML page. How can we do this? Here is very simple. The expression would be, this is the syntax, since it's a part of XPath, it's follow the XPath, so this is the common the syntax for creating XPath, // tagName, and then inside a bracket we'll say text function, we'll call the text function, and then equals to actual text, whatever the text attached for this text element. It's an example. Say this is our the user ID, password, that's a 2-field web element, and we want to select this user ID, this text. And if you see, and this is the related of HTML code for user ID. It has a tag name TD, it has a line, that's one attribute, and there is a user ID. This is the actual text over here. So what would be the the XPath using text method? This will be // this is the actual // tag name is TD, and then text method equals to single quotation, what's the actual text is user ID. Okay, that's it. This is very simple. So we can use text function follow the XPath to locate any actual text web element in an HTML page. Number 2 is how we can locate the elements using contains method followed in XPath. The contains method used in xPathExpression. Okay, it is used when the value of any attribute changes dynamically or long value. Sometimes the the text, or when you look at any element in an object, it contains long value, or it may have some of the partial of the part, it changes dynamically. Especially in a Google or Facebook, you will see there's a lot of web object. Some of the part is not fixed, it's changing dynamically. Okay, so that time, but if you need to use any one of that kind of web object, we can use the contains method. Here is the syntax. Like we will use similarly, we will use driver.findElement by XPath. So this is the star, or the regular syntax for creating XPath, /s /tagName, then we'll say contains, that's the keyword or method, and then in a bracket we'll up to this, in a bracket we'll put the whole whatever the text, we can put the whole text, or we can put partial of them. Okay, partial of them, and then the method that you want to perform on this object. Example, let's say an example. Let's open, let's go to here, let's code inbox, let's go to codeinbox.com, and here if you go at the very the bottom, we have a Twitter. Okay, there's a Twitter link here. This is the Twitter account for our CodeInbox site, our account. So let's inspect this this object. So you can see here. Okay, you can see here, this is the HTML code for this Twitter account object. So if I want to create a XPath of this, copy XPath, let's see, I can put in a let me put in it. No, this is not the relative XPath, this is absolute XPath. We don't want to use absolute XPath. Let's use the CrowPath. We can use CrowPath. Let's see. Okay, class relative XPath, highlight box. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so here you can see it has a class, and it is href, and then the href, this is the the URL, and it has other attributes. So our aim, let's say example, we're going to use contains method here following XPath. Okay, so it will be how it's going to be. It will be something like this. So we'll say driver.findElement by XPath and double quotation, and then this is our your tag name is a, and then we'll say contains keyword, that's a method, and then at the rate. Okay, this is the whole thing, href comma, this is the href, it's at the rate href, this is the href, and then the value, it's the whole thing, twitter.com / CodeInbox team. You can so you can put this, the whole thing, it will work, but we can put the partial one too. Let's see, let me check. If we let's go to Eclipse, I can show. So this is, let's put, so we can use this way, it should work, the full thing, the href, everything. So let's run it, and then I will show you the partial one. If you Java application, okay, so it's popping the window. Okay, Oh, I didn't maximize the window, but anyways, you can see. Okay, so it's a launch first codeinbox.com site, then it click on the very bottom the Twitter account link, and it's open the Twitter account. Okay, so it works. Okay, so that now, how about, as I said, we can use partial text or partial information, okay, other than the whole thing. So let's put this comment, and example, we're going to use this part. A contains href twitter.com. I'm not putting the rest of the CodeInbox team, this one. Okay, let's save it and then run it again. Okay, let's open the codeinbox.com, and then it also click on the Twitter account page, and you can see this open another tab for the Twitter account. Okay, so it works. So that's a way, that's a way we can use the contains method. Okay, let's move to the next one. So next one is a parent-child relationship following XPath. So in HTML, it's a lot of times, so we have some of the element that we can't select directly, and there is no other way we can use any other attribute. Only one option that we can use XPath, but it's not directly we can use. It can happen. It will, in real life, you will see a lot of elements, something like that. That time we can traverse from parent, immediate parent, or grandparent to that specific child, and we can create our own XPath and traverse from parent to child. How can we do this? Let's example. Let's go to our site. So here we can go codeinboxautomationlab.com/practice. At the very bottom we have a login. Okay, we have a login button, login link. So let's spy this. So this is the HTML code related to this login. Okay, so if we want to select or look at this login element, and we want to say example, we want to click up there. So we can use only we have the login text related to the HTML code, that we can use the text also, like text method or other stuff. But sometimes those are not. You will say it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. Other time. So it's to make it more specific that it's going to work, because when driver read your page from the top left to here, if some web element is not it has some similar type of value for this attribute, or for this element, there is another object in the same page have the similar type of value, it's not going to work, right? The properties, if it's properties the same, is not going to work. It will select that one. Okay, so to make it more specific, say example, I want to select this login element and click up there through traverse from parent. How can I traverse from parent? So it has parent li. Okay, you can see an ul, it's another immediate parent. If you minimize this, you can see this is, if I select this HTML code, it select the whole tab, this whole the whole column. This is the first, that's the first footer, this is the first footer, the whole footer, it's selected by this HTML code, and it has a sharp arrow down. It means this is the parent, and you can see there is a the arrow towards to right side. This is another child, one child of this parent, and there is another child. Okay, there's a 2 child, 3 child, 4 child. So it has number of child under this parent. So I want to traverse from parent to like login child. So where is the login child? So login child, not the first one, but the second one. The second, this is the second child. So inside this second child, if you open this, there is a one child, and this is a second another child. So this is my actual the child that I want to locate. A traverse from parent. The parent is this one. So this is called parent-child traverse following XPath. So we'll use the ID. This is the ID attribute for the parent. From there we'll go to the, not the first one, second child, and after that we'll go to the first, second, it's a second grandchild. Okay, how can we do this? This would be something like this. Let's see. So we'll say travers find element by XPath, and then I will create the // star, or you can use the deep attribute, and after that the attribute for the attribute for the parent, which is ID. Okay, so I used the ID value, and after that you will use / what's the child. I don't need this child. I need a ul this child. Okay, so this is the child, and after that the child li. This is li. So under this ul, it has multiple child. There's a 1 li, 2 li, 3, 4. Okay, there is a 4 child under this li. Li itself a parent too. So from ul, from ul to li, this is the first. I need the first li. So that's why I said ul, then li. What's the number of the position of the child? Because there is a lots of li, those are the sibling. So I need the first sibling. So this is the first. After the sibling, I need to say specific sibling. What's the tag of this, the child of the sibling, or the child tag is a. So that's why I said a. Okay, this is the XPath traverse from parent to child following XPath. So all you need to the XPath for all the child, like all the parents, like your grandparent, parent. This is the grandparent, then this is the parent, and then your child tag. Okay, the final child tag, which is the a. Okay, let's go to the next one. Sorry. Next one. Okay, next one, it's testing. Say you have a Google search, and you need to type something in this Google search box, and you have to select one of the results, suggested results. So this is very the common interview question, how we can automate the Google search box. So type something and select one of them. Okay, that's let's see example. So I will go here and I'm typing, say, example testing job. You can see there's a bunch of results based on the suggestion. Okay, so testing job, internal job, testing job in Canada. So example, I need to select testing jobs, this one, the second one, not the first one. How we can select, because this is not a something permanent HTML code behind the scene. This is a dynamic. It's create the code, it's a runtime based on you, whatever you type. Okay, how can we select this? So if you spy this, you can see this is the this is, you can spy, if you spy, you can see this is the HTML code that select the whole this specific box, right? And from there I can traverse. This is this line, it's the first one result, and this line is related to this this line is related to the second one. Let's minimize. Is related to the second one. This is the third one, and moving forward. So you can see all of them. Those are the child of this. This is the HTML code, and say example role is attribute. So from there, I can traverse any one of them. Whatever one I want to select. So this is called dynamic HTML, because those related HTML, this HTML didn't have fix. It's created runtime request. When you type and you search, that time it's created. It's not fixed. So to select or do any automation based on the runtime dynamic, we have to create a dynamic XPath too. How can we do this? Here is the complete HTML code tutorial. How we can use parent-child descendant relationship to build or to create a dynamic XPath specifically for Google search. Okay, I have a full YouTube tutorial for this. I can show you. I will add all the links below in description. Okay, but I can show you. Where is this? This is how to automate Google in search. Please see this tutorial. It's explained in detail because it's a little bit long process, so that's why I'm not showing again. See this video tutorial. I will add in the link in description, and then you will understand how we can create dynamic XPath followed parent-child relationship. Okay, next it's how to traverse to sibling element using. Okay, so example, we just saw right. Say we just saw in here in Google even. So those are this is this HTML code. This is our parent HTML code, and those are the locator, and the rest of them is this one. All those are child. It means those are all sibling. Then sometimes you need to traverse from one sibling to another sibling, not direct on a specific child. Maybe both siblings have the same code, everything is same. You can see this is the siblings all have the same thing, same code. So sometimes you need to, so if you select, whatever one, if you use the same code, same attribute, it's gonna be to select the first one, but you need to maybe select the third one, fourth one. So that time you need to traverse from one sibling to another sibling. You have to specific the position, what number of sibling you want to traverse. So how can we do this? How can we traverse from sibling to sibling? Okay. To do this, let's go to here. There is a the process using XPath. We can get the relative XPath for the first sibling, then we'll use /, then we'll use the keyword following /sibling, 2: like this, then the tag name of the the sibling and the position of the sibling. This is the syntax, and we can follow to select any object or traverse from one sibling to another sibling. I have a tutorial in details for using this concept here. I can show you. Need to not the Google one. Here, how to automate table in Selenium with Java. Okay, please watch this video. You will see in details. It's not only, it has all details, the process, that how we can create the basic XPath, CSS selector, as well as how we can traverse from one sibling to another sibling. Okay, and next one it's how to traverse parent to child using CSS selector. From parent to child, we can use using CSS selector, how can we traverse. Okay, this time we can the process is like, we'll say CSS selector class, so we have to find out the class attribute, and then for the parent, then there will be the common for the parent, and then there will be space, we have to put this space, and then we have to say child's tag name, whatever the tag name would be for the child, and then colon, and then nth, and then dash child, and the position of the child. So for this one we have also I use this technique, also the same tutorial as I showed you here. This how to automate a table in Selenium or Java. So you can watch these videos. It will cover all those topics. It will cover all these topics. So the traverse from parent to child using CSS selector, and also traverse from one sibling to another sibling, and also the first one we saw using text function followed xpath to locate any web element object. Okay, so that's it for today. So please watch all this related video to get the clear concept and idea in real life. Okay, hope you enjoy the video, and you have a good one. See you next time. Bye.